So today, our class talking about GMOs, good or bad. My group include me, Ryan, Paola, Eileen, Jaden, and Brian. We show our opinion about this topic. So first of all, we need to understand what are GMOs. GMOs are genetically modified organisms, which means they are developed with beneficial traits that help them to thrive in the environment. Because in GMOs, we can take some gene out and put some gene in, so technically we can put some gene that help the plant to be grow normally in the harsh condition. Like even though it's not enough water, not enough sunlight, or even it droughts, the plant can grow normally. Or we can make it be bug resistant, or we can make it grow faster, bigger, and of course the quantity is going to be better. About food prices, if you don't know, GMO food can help to reduce food prices. But how do they help though? Because they were genetically modified, they can be resistant to things that prevent them from growing. Meaning, if crops are genetically modified, they can grow in harsh conditions, like I mentioned before. And price on produce wouldn't need to be raised because the required quantities for good income are being met. And because food prices are low, people can afford good nutritional food. And yes, GMOs will increase nutritional value. One of the main reasons they were genetically modified is to increase nutritional value and lowering fatty acids. An example would be the golden rice. According to the Discovery Foundation, golden rice had been genetically modified to have higher amounts of vitamin A, and having vitamin A helps with eye health and vision. GMO food are a lot more common than you think. According to the Organic Consumers Association, 40% of all US crops are GMO, and 80% of processed food contains GMO. And so for more, soy, canola, corn, sugar beets, milk, cotton, potato, papayas. Yeah. And here are some pictures of GMO foods. Like, as you can see, these apples, these potatoes, the corn, all of them be like looking better and bigger, grow faster. So yeah. Alright, so let's talk about organization approved. Organizations that approve of GMO foods and consider themselves. This is a list of learned societies and national academies endorsing safety of genetic modified crops around the world. Here's some of them: French Academy of Science, Indian National Science Academy, Institute of Food Technologies, and all of that. Recombinant DNA technology. Modern genetic technology can be used to modify the genomes of living organisms. This process, also known as genetic engineering. Genes of one species can be modified, or genes can be transplanted from one species to another. Genetic engineering is made possible by recombinant DNA technology. Organisms that have altered genomes are known as transgenic. Most transgenic organisms are generated in the laboratory for research purpose. Here's the picture of it. Because Miss Gray talked about this a lot, so you can understand it's like those two get cutting off, and then they have the stick end, and then boom, they put together and make recombinant DNA. Easy enough. And here is some basic steps to create the transgenic organisms. Step 1. Cut desired genes from foreign species using restriction enzymes. Step 2. Cut a plasmid with the same restriction enzyme. Step 3. Incubate this gene and plasmid together to the sticky end attached, creating recombinant DNA. Step 4. Add DNA ligase to shield the ends together. Step 5. Insert the plasmid into a bacterium. Step 6. Allow bacteria to multiply. Step 7. Kill the bacteria and harvest the desired protein. And here is the picture for you to understand it easier. So you have a cow and you have the DNA that contains the gene, and then you take the cow's egg and you inject the DNA in the egg, and you take that egg that got injected the DNA in, you put it in another cow, and then that cow gonna make a baby cow, and that one baby cow that just born gonna get the DNA. Modified animals. Transgenic animals were made by inserting desired DNA into egg cells and implanting them in a female waiting for birth. Now scientists alter stem cells and insert them into embryos to create transgenic organisms. GFP is often added to seed if DNA was integrated. Modify plants. To insert DNA into plants, Acrobacterium and the gene gun is used. Acrobacterium tumefaciens has the ability to inject Ti recombinant plasmid into plant cells, planting the desired gene into its chromosome to be expressed. And the plant cell and all its offspring will be considered to be genetically modified. The gene gun uses high pressure to shoot DNA fragments into plant cells, resulting in genetically modified plant cells. And there are also some experiments about GMOs. Researchers at the University of Exeter have created a transgenic zebrafish which produces highly targeted green fluorescent signals when exposed to environmental excigens. By making the fat parts of the fish glow green, signals offer a great potential for laboratory experiments. They were a first genetic modified animal to test for pollution. Spider goat experiment. Researchers from the University of Wyoming have developed a way to incorporate spider silk spinning genes into goats, allowing the researchers to harvest the silk protein from the goat's milk for a variety of applications. The strength and elasticity of the spider silk have many ways of being medically used. The problem is occurring in large quantities of the silk from spiders. That's why by inserting silk, making genes into goat not only helps produce silk, it keeps spiders safe. There haven't been any health issues shown in goats of order meal production. Questionable health risk. Even though there haven't been any long-term clinical trials on a human to determine whether GMO's food itself, scientists still don't know what the long-term effects of significant GMO consumption could be. Health risk. Tinkering with the genetic makeup of plants may result in changes to the food supply that introduce toxins or trigger allergic reactions. World Health Organization and the Agricultural Organization have identified some potential effects of genetically modified food. High levels of allergens on plants can cause several allergic reactions. Some allergic reactions recorded would be abdominal pain, diarrhea, and skin rashes. And yeah, probably there will be some environmental effects. A series of experiments have been done on zebrafish. These fish have been used to test for pollution. The latest research includes specific GFP expressions in various tissue, organs, and body systems when exposed to adherent disrupting chemicals. Part of the zebrafish affected include the heart, liver, skeletal muscle, aortic vesicle, the movement detecting lateral line, and part of the brain and nervous system. And probably there will be some more of the environmental effects. A report from the Canadian Biotechnology in Action Network found that genetically modified crops have also had a number of impacts on biodiversity. Herbicide-tolerant crops reduce weed diversity in and around the field, which reduces habitat and food for other important species.